my dear. Don't tell her no, just tell her yes, my dear. And you'll be cosy as two bugs in a rug, two birds on a tree. Just take it from me, son, the secret of true harmony.
Right, Sid James's house. A bit of a mystery here, and I haven't resolved it yet. Now, if you remember, that day we went down into what is Pinewood Close in Ivor Heath.
Yeah.
I vaguely remember that bloke and his front lawn was either trimming or he had a hedge trimmer, and I asked him about Sid James lived down here, didn't he? Thinking that he's found a long since moved on, and he pointed over to the house, which in that photograph where I asked you to stand at that little the end of the Pinewood Close, which is like a small little circular dead end. So it wouldn't look too obvious if you remember. You were wearing your green Henley t-shirt. Have you still got that?
Yeah.
Well, this, as you've probably seen in that thing I posted in the group, there's that documentary from the mid-90s which features an interview with his widow Valerie, and it shows this car going up the drive, pardon me, showing this house which is totally different than the house that's over your shoulder.
Yeah, it's part of that bloke bullshit in you.
Yeah. It wouldn't have been far from that area, but that wasn't the house. Now, I've tried using Google Earth, forums. One forum says the house is situated down as you're going towards Delaford House. There's a little driveway. You can't see nothing because it's a high fence, a high gate. That was 2013. In the same forum, 2020, it says that the entrance has been moved and that the house has been demolished. As far as I know, Sid James's widow is still alive. She's 93. I personally can't see the house being demolished. It was only built in the late 60s, and it was bespoke built and all. I've even tried tweeting the Ivor Heath Residents Association. I haven't received any response. I mean, if you were a person, right, who had the chance, I mean, I would love a house either in Denham or Ivor, you know, because Denham, you're not far from Pinewood. Ivor Heath, nice little village, and you got the big Palm Studios nearby. All the history. You're not too far away from Bournemouth and that. You know, good maybe like from here to Scunthorpe. If I bought the house knowing that it was the house designed by Sid James and the history was Sid James, I would not demolish it, even if it wasn't to my taste, architecture wise. You're not having a tug, are you?
No.
If you had the chance, right, if that house is still up, and you had the chance to buy it, would you keep it as it is, the design?
Yeah, but depends if you there's a great wasn't particular Crown film really. I think it's just an house.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it is just an house, but the house itself was designed by Sid James. It's not like, because in that documentary, which is called Seriously Seeking Sid, I think it's part 1 on YouTube. It shows that clip that I showed, I screen recorded. It shows you talking to Valerie, Valerie looking over a bridge, and then it shows you talk about the house, and obviously it's like a camera's going up the drive, and there is, for the time, a modern looking house, which was, because they had the land for 10 years before they could afford to build on it, and it's just this forum is suggesting that it may have been demolished. Now, as you probably saw in my little video that I did the other day, that house that you had your back to, it does look like on the satellite image on Google Earth, it clearly shows there's 3 separate dwellings in mid-construction. But if you go to the instant street view, it's still showing that house that you had your back to. But the satellite image clearly shows that house has been demolished.
Yeah.
And there's 3 separate dwellings there. All we know is that Sid James's house was called Delaford Park. That was the name, because it was on within the boundary of the grounds of probably what was a country house called Delaford House. Somebody says it's on the way into Delaford Park, which was in the grounds of the house, a little driveway. Then someone says about 6 years later, the entrance is somewhere on the B1 blah 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 near St Peter's Church, and that the entrance had been moved, and I think that the house has been demolished. No actual proof, just an assumption. I'll get to the bottom of it. I know it's a trivial thing, like, it makes me chuckle in a way. That picture that you sent me of the 2 pints of Guinness and my camera. To think that that is really a trivial situation. It's not even that important, but it's really trivial. But I'm like going, well, I think you said it could be the plume of feathers, and I looked at it and said, well, it can't be plume of feathers. Yes, it does have a beer garden, but there's no wall on the outside. It's shut onto the footpath, and the beer garden's at the side. And the plume of feathers, I think that's one where you took a picture of my socks. You know, when my cargo pants, and you took a picture of my socks, pretending to take a picture of your pint on the table.
There was a pint on the table.
Yeah, I know there was, but I think you
Your socks in the way. I'm gonna say your socks are in the way.
you put my socks in the way. You because there's me trying to look philosophical with my pint like this, and then as on the more wider exposure, you can see I'm wearing my cargo pants, my football shirt, and white socks, clearly showing like a glowing glow stick. So I'm going, no, it can't be Plume of Feathers, and then we're trying to rack his brains of where is this place. And then you said, I think it's the Anchor near the Thames. And I'm going, it can't be. Because surely, I remember the Anchor. Because you wore your I can't believe it's not butter t-shirt with a dog licking its arsehole. And surely there'll be some safety railings there. And there's a picture of you, maybe 2 or 3 pictures I took of you where you're on the phone, I'm assuming to Rosie, where there's clearly a lifebelt preserver box there and a railing. But in that picture you took, there's no railing. It can't be Anchor. But what did it was I downloaded Google Earth, and there's a feature on there where people can upload pictures from a certain point and like pin it, like mark it, so that when you zoom down and you can see these little red dots, you press on the red dot and it shows that person's picture. So it could be where the van can't get there. And sure enough, what Clinch did, I got to exactly the same point where we were sat. You were like 12 foot from the bridge. And obviously there was different furniture there. But just below the flat bit of the wall where our pints were and my camera. So you look at the side of the wall, because you can see on your pictures like a black cable protector. But on this Google Earth image, which I'm looking side on from where we see where we were sat, and there was the same cable protector thing. And the reason why, which what foxed me, was you must have zoomed in between the post that would obviously have anchored the railing, and the matter was resolved. It indeed was the anchor at the river Bankside River Thames. No, I miss it. I miss it. I miss our little adventures down there. We've lost the Aldgate Exchange. Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of targets still to go for.
Yeah.
I've already made a list anyway.
You know what I'm pissed off at, right? I'm pissed off that every time I went down there, that pub, which I can't remember what the little yard or lane that it is, called the Still and Star. It was open till about maybe 2 years ago. Lovely pub by look at the interior pictures. Lovely, narrow, small pub, really intimate pub, next door to the Aldgate Whitechapel bus station, and is now permanently closed due to some Whitechapel Journal online website or something. So I'm gutted that I never had a chance to have a pint at the Still and Star. The second one is this pub that I've passed 3 or 4 times when I've come up from Tower Bridge to up into like Bethnal Green area. And that I think even you went past because you took some pictures, and that would be the Dog and Truck. I think it's a Dog and Truck. Every time I've been past that pub, it's been closed. So that's 2 targets that I will set up at Dog and Truck, and also in 2 pubs I would love us to hit. One of them is the Castle, the one that's now been painted black. That's Whitechapel Aldgate area. And the second one is a pub in Pentonville. I forgot the name of it now. Yeah, so many targets. Right, it's time. Well, probably. It's popular, my God. So I think it's time that it must be 2:10 now.
Yeah, I need to be up early tomorrow. So I can be tired enough to sleep tomorrow night.
Yeah, back on early shift, aren't you?